Veterans, chronic pain isn't just pain. It's a whole chain reaction of problems most veterans never connect to their rating. Let's be honest, chronic pain doesn't just hurt, it brings its friends with it. Today we're covering the top 5 conditions caused by chronic pain, and you might not be claiming some of them. Yes, before you ask, you would claim these as secondary conditions. If you're a regular here, condition number 5 and 4 you probably already know about because I've talked about it often. And many veterans still do not claim it, and I cannot figure out why. Number 3 is a condition you might know about, and how it's claimed and even rated is incorrect most of the time. Number 2 is a condition that might be a new one for you. And number 1, it's destroying more veterans than the VA will ever admit. Do me a favor, though. Help me help you. I realize you can just skip to the end, find out what the 5 things are, and move on with your day. But the real meat of helping me help you is what is being said, not what is written. So give me 15 minutes or less, and I'll give you enough information to put you closer to or in that 100 club. I'm Mr. X. I'm the guy behind the guy, giving you all the information you want to know and need to know about the VA claims process. And this is the VA Top 5. So, one thing to think about and consider prior to even going through all these 5 conditions. Okay, chronic pain equals secondary claims. Now, that chronic pain, it can't be just service-connected for chronic pain, straight up. Okay, that pain may be associated with a already service-connected knee, back, ankle, foot condition. That chronic pain could be due to other gastrointestinal conditions. That pain is due to another service-connected condition that you're already service-connected for. Okay, I want to put that caveat out there to begin with. Okay, that pain has to be service-connected through something else. All right, let's get into it. The number 5 condition, anxiety and stress disorders. Chronic pain doesn't just stay in your back or your neck or your knees or wherever that pain comes from. Because your brain goes, oh, and then oh again, and then oh forever, right? Well, that constant discomfort that triggers or can trigger the chronic anxiety. So when your body hurts every day, your nervous system stays on high alert. You're stressed, irritable, jumpy, or mentally exhausted. And some of that kind of becomes your personality. But it's not really your personality because you didn't always have it. Okay, that chronic pain is hijacking your mental health and causing anxiety, stress, mood disorders. Okay, and all of that is claimable. Okay, that's a secondary condition that you can claim. So if you have chronic pain and it leads to any of those symptoms, being stressed, irritable, jumpy, mentally exhausted, you might have been treated for it, diagnosed of it, absolutely file a claim for it. You can claim anxiety condition due to chronic pain associated with your right knee condition, your low back condition, with your stomach condition, whatever it is. Number 5 and 4, anxiety. Actually, I should say number 5, not 4. Number 5, anxiety and stress disorders. The number 4 condition, depression and mood disorders. And this one is huge. Look, when your body hurts every day, things you used to enjoy, stuff like social stuff, hobbies, even simple tasks, suddenly become hard. And for many veterans, and this may be you, that usually gets buried with, hey, I'll just suck it up. That's what you think mentally. But depression, caused by chronic pain is extremely common. That pain wears you down, it isolates you, it affects your identity, your purpose, and your mood. Okay? So if you have chronic pain and it has you feeling hopeless or angry or numb, it's not a weakness. It's not your personality. That is pain being shown or causing the depression and other, mood disorders or other conditions. Okay? If you're diagnosed, if you're treated, if you have those feelings or symptoms, then yeah, I would absolutely file a claim. Because pain, that chronic pain that we're talking about, leads to depression, leads to any and all of the above. Okay? Now, I'll say this about 5 and 4. If you don't if you don't have anxiety, if you don't have depression, if you don't have either of those, but you have another mental health condition of some kind, then I would then attribute pain to that condition as well. PTSD is different, okay? It's not going to be PTSD due to pain. That's not going to be there, okay? So I would not claim PTSD due to pain, because there has for service connection to be granted for PTSD. There's other things that can go into it, stressors and whatnot. But any other mental health condition, if you're diagnosed with it, then I would file a secondary claim for it. Okay. The number 3 condition, gastrointestinal issues. This one's a little bit of a wild one because chronic pain can stress out your body so much. It messes with your digestive system. Conditions such as irritable bowel syndrome, acid reflux, nausea, loss of appetite, that can all be tied to the chronic pain, or especially the medication used to treat it. And this is the part that is often kind of claimed incorrectly, and then it's developed incorrectly and rated incorrectly, because oftentimes when it's claimed, I've seen it many, many times, it'll just be like gastrointestinal issues due to this condition, and pain is kind of mentioned. Okay. You need to tie the gastrointestinal issues due to the medication used to then treat your low back condition or whatever it is that you're service connected for. Okay, you really need to spell that out. And sometimes you do, and then when developed by the VA, it's done incorrectly, because the exam is the same, but the medical opinion that is requested has to be written as such. It needs to be written, hey, does the veteran have a gastrointestinal issue caused by the medication used to treat the right knee condition? And that's how it has to be essentially requested, okay? And then the examiner has to, go through all of that and spell it all out. And most times, and to no fault of yours, it's developed incorrectly and not requested correctly. And then sometimes the examiner won't truly address the condition as such, and they'll give a rationale other than what was requested. And that's where most of the time it's requested and even rated incorrectly. Okay. Thing to remember here. Okay. If you have chronic pain from any condition that leads to stress, the medication being taken for any and all of the above, leads to the gastrointestinal issues and or gut problems. And the number 2 condition, migraines and or tension headaches. Okay, so chronic pain can literally climb the ladder to your head. Things such as neck pain, back pain, jaw pain, nerve pain can all trigger headaches, tension headaches, stress headaches, cervicogenic headaches. Okay. Now, veterans often think that headaches are just a part of service. Well, guess what? The VA rates them. They could be a part of service. You may have been treated for service, but also these migraines that you have could be related to the chronic pain that you're feeling, that, the pain in your knee, your back could cause that headache. And migraines, you can get rated at 0, 10, 30, or even a 50% rating. So one thing to remember here. Now, one thing I want to mention here right from the get-go, the cervicogenic headaches are due to neck pain. You can't have a cervicogenic headache that's due to back pain, low back pain. Okay. Just want to put that out there first. But essentially, if you have neck pain, back pain, jaw pain, nerve pain, and any of those types of headaches, migraines, tension, stress, or cervicogenic, then file a claim for those. It's all going to be secondary conditions. And keep in mind, with migraines, how they're addressed by the VA, what it all comes down to is the prostrating attacks. Due to that pain, if you have that headache and it comes down to a prostrating attack to where you have to sit down in a dark room, it has to be dark, has to be quiet, that is how you maximize the evaluation for the migraines. But essentially, If you have chronic pain and migraines, file a secondary claim. And the number one condition, limited mobility and or gait problems. So when you limp or compensate or adjust how you walk because of chronic pain, it puts extra stress on all the other joints, which could then lead to hip issues, knee issues, low back issues, ankle issues, feet problems. Okay, mobility changes are some of the strongest secondary claims because they're visible and medically explainable. So if you're service connected for a low back condition, hip, knee, ankle, feet, okay, and due to that chronic pain, if you overcompensate, if you're always leaning on the stronger joint because, if you're always walking with a limp on your left knee because your right knee hurts, and now you have left knee problems, then file that as a secondary claim due to the service-connected condition. For low back conditions, gait problems and gait issues is really the proof in the pudding there. If you have gait problems in your records, then that's going to be an easier secondary condition to be claimed and to be granted, because those gait issues are the physical manifestations of the pain and your body reacting to all of the above. Now, at the very beginning, I said that the number one issue is destroying more veterans than the VA will admit. Now, I don't mention things like that just for hyperbole or just to try to get clicks or try to get views. That's not the purpose of it. Okay? Now, the reason why I said that is this. If you have chronic pain and if you then have limited mobility and gait problems, so then you're not walking, you're not active, you're not moving, that can then cause depression, headaches, then you're not doing much. And as you're not doing much and you're not active, then other health conditions, creep up on you. Okay? Now, there's no really one way to address any and all of that. Okay? Because having an active, healthy lifestyle is good for your long-term health, and so you can do the things in life that you want to do. Once you lose the ability to move around, that is kind of the chain reaction that then causes many, many, many other issues. And so that's why I say it's destroying more veterans than the VA will admit. So wrapping it up, those are the top 5 conditions caused by chronic pain. And if you're dealing with any of these, they're not just symptoms. They're secondary claims waiting to be filed. Look, you've earned these benefits. Now let's get you rated correctly. Do me a favor. If you watch this video and feel like I've earned it, then kindly give me a thumbs up. That helps with all the YouTube stuff. Drop me a comment if I missed one. Or if there's one that you want to share with the community, please share it. Also, if you have a question for claim advice, okay, something that you would like answered in a longer format, then drop me a question and put claim advice in it, and I'll address it in a future video. As always, please subscribe for more no-fluff VA claim tips broken down with a little humor and some honesty. I'm Mr. X. Thanks for being with me. This is the VA Top 5.